Right back at it on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Andrew Adams, and Jen Rolnick.
Double A.
See, this is why I have a lineup. This is why it's important. Because we got new names.
Nailed it.
For the next 2 hours. Sammy, you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Battling it all?
Yeah, fighting it a bit.
Fighting it a bit?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Fighting it. I forgot there's a Washington Capitals jersey on it. I forgot to even do it for the Leafs.
Don't worry about
Go
it.
Caps.
Bud. We're good. We're good.
Wow,
Let's be a Capital show today.
wow, that's nice. That's a different tone.
It's a different tone, even though we are our Leaf Edition hour of the program. We're live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan in Toronto, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available at your convenience, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. The Montreal Canadiens defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs Saturday night. They end a 5-game skid. They got
Close,
some.
though.
They got some offense out of Dobson, Anderson. They scored twice, and that led to a mercy pull of Joseph Wall. Couldn't have been the easiest game, I think. Sammy, did you go on your Leaf
Yeah,
talk
of course.
after the game?
Yeah, every game. We do every single game.
Oh, right.
Every single
Not
game.
always.
Well, during
Sometimes
the World
you get
Series.
guest appearances.
During the World Series, we did every single. We weren't doing every single game, but yeah, I mean, it's just it's grim. There's no other way to put it right now, fellas. It's
Let's
grim.
not start. Let's not, Sammy. JB, you go first.
Yeah.
Find something for me.
Yep.
Find a silver lining for me here.
I'm full of silver linings today, pal. You're gonna fight with me all day long. It was a bad game. There's no way to look at that game and pull a positive out of that particular one. Maybe a good first period. I thought 2-0 was
They were okay
generous to
in the
the
first period.
The Habs. Yeah, I mean, they end up getting a couple, and I know that there's some complaints from the coach about the team kind of folding tent after they did go down, and there's lots to say about that for sure. But I thought they came out and were more physical than they had been in a lot of games this year, and the Leafs in Montreal was too.
Give me some names.
I mean, Joshua ran into people not very hard or very effectively. Bobby McMahon ran into some people. Benoit had a good hit at one point. I just thought they finished checks and it was at least competitive hockey for the first 10 minutes.
And then what happened in the second?
That is a really depressing question. I don't know. The coach doesn't know. It sounds like they weren't able to handle the adversity of being down 2 goals. What do you think happened?
Yeah, they just, I think whatever they brought, minimal for me emotionally, completely disappeared by the second period. They had just lack of passion and emotion for me in that second period. Yeah. It just stopped. So whatever you saw out of, Joshua.
That's not a great example. Joshua, I regret saying that name because he wasn't very good.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
In terms of that second period at all. Like outshot 16-1, and to have the only one that show up at that particular time is your goalie, and you felt so bad for him that you needed to get him out of there. That to me is a low point of their season so far, was that second period.
Yeah, I mean, and there's been other moments where it's looked like that, but
yeah. What did you see between the first and the second, Sammy?
What I've seen all year. I think that game followed a pretty similar script that they've had the whole season. Where they have a okay, goodish start where maybe they fall down a goal or something, and then they go into the second period and they look completely out of depth. The other team skates circles around them and then they go down even more, and then they have a fake comeback in the third period, and then we come in here and do a show. It felt very, very eerily similar to a lot of the games I've watched, but that game specifically, that second period, was by far their worst of the year.
Yeah, it was. They got run off the rink.
It was
they
not
looked
close.
Wildly out-talented, and I tweeted as much, and some people didn't like that. But boy, listen, the Leafs are without a ton of very good hockey players, and that certainly influences it. But watching that third goal, the Slavkovsky delay, downloaded Demidov back to Dobson, wires it in the far post, was a beautiful goal, and not one we see the Leafs even capable of putting together. So that was a depressing moment if you're a Leafs fan, because you've been the more talented team for the past 7 years or whatever.
I think a way to put it for me is that one team is at the start and one team is at the end, where the Habs are at the start of their upswing.
Cycle, whatever you want to call it.
They've been bad. They've
Yeah.
gotten picks.
Yeah.
They've made their
It's
picks.
cyclical, Sammy.
Yes. And the Leafs are at the end where they've used all their picks on
Yeah.
guys who are going to be expiring,
Yeah.
guys like Lott and all that stuff. They're just teams heading in different directions.
Montreal's window is starting to open.
Yes.
And Toronto's has started to close.
Now, I will say
what it felt
that
like.
typically, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I felt that too. Typically, this sort of thing starts to happen, and good teams don't just go away. You know, like typically you're able to get some sort of push. These are veteran guys. These are good players. It's impossible to look at that game and not be like, God, they missed their top guys. They missed Matthews. They
Yeah.
missed Nyes. They missed Tanev. They missed
They weren't.
Carlo.
They, to start the season, though, they had them,
Wow.
and they still weren't that good.
I know. And so I do feel like the reason I feel like this team that's in last in the Eastern Conference is not trash is it felt like you had sort of the 10-15 game, okay, let's see what we are, and it was discombobulated and never got it sorted, and then they got hurt before they had a chance to get it sorted. Not saying they're great. I'm just saying this team, and I just was writing out the lineup, a fully healthy Leafs lineup, they're not the worst team in the Eastern Conference. They're just not.
And whatever
Mark
we've
my
seen
words.
up until this point, the difference between them and first place is what, 5 points?
Yeah.
Right.
The problem is you got to climb a zillion teams, and the
I know
3
you
points
do.
The whole conference.
It's not helping for sure, but my silver lining in all of this
Yeah.
is that I don't know who's good in that division.
Right. And
That's
you put
it's
together
sad
right.
that I'm now taking it out of the Leafs' hands now,
Yeah.
and I'm looking around going, boys, just string 3 or 4 or 5 good games together here and get yourself back into the mushy middle.
Totally. And that's how these standings are going to go. Like you go on a 4-game winning streak and all of a sudden you're in it again. Unfortunately, and I think this will be Sam's take, they don't look like a team capable of doing that right now.
I don't think, I mean, it'd be great if they could put together 4 or 5 wins in a row, but they're the worst road team in the league. And they are about to go on a 4-game, 5-game road trip where they're still not sure if Matthews and Nyes and Waugh are going to play. You're still missing Carlo. You're still missing Tanev for however long. Like, you know, Stolar's a ways away, hasn't skated after being not that seriously injured.
Okay. Let's hold
Well,
off on the
just-
injuries for now.
For sure. I'm just saying that, like, there is a world where they find their way back into this. But this next week and a half could kill their season. Like, they need to find a way to come out of this above 500 or at 500. Because if they lose 4 more in a row when they go out on these games in the road,
I think if they lose 4 in a row, they'll fire the coach.
maybe. But, like, if they fire the coach, is that going to bring you back from even further in last place? Like, it's,
Yeah,
I don't.
this is the thing with digging a hole is you're never guaranteed to get healthy at the right
Yeah.
time, to put it together. It may just not come in time.
I mean, I'm worried that they've dug too much of a hole.
Let's
That's
go.
where I'm
Let's
at.
go to the head coach, Craig Berube, on how you turn this around.
Well, right off the first draw, we got an easy breakout. We don't. Well, I mean, it's, you know, obviously getting some people back in the lineup, but you know, that definitely is going to help. But until we decide to, you know, dig in and play the right way for 60 minutes on a consistent basis, it's going to be hard to pull yourself out of anything.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the same kind of message, right?
it's been the same message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Play harder, dig in,
Yeah.
play the right way.
It's funny that I was thinking about these like kind of coaches like Craig Berube, and it doesn't. You know, when you just beat that message in and it's not working, it's really. I think it's hard as a player because you're like, I'm trying. You know, like I'm not going out there and mailing it in. But you look at him, you look at like Adam Foote is that kind of guy in Vancouver, and they're struggling. Like it, I'm sure it is frustrating for guys.
I would say this to you guys. I mean, we do a show about it. We play his clips every day. I think there's days that we're frustrated by it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even have to go anywhere near the hockey team. We just talk about it and listen to these clips. But sometimes I feel like myself actually like physically being annoyed by it,
Yeah.
where it's like, it's not just harder. Like that doesn't work.
They never have the puck. It's not an effort thing.
It's just they don't play with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you want Any Berube on progress?
I think the
You like
best.
that
I
one?
think the best clip here is clip 6, and it's just about him talking about what you alluded to off the top. So clip 6.
Well, what I've seen few times this year is when we get down a couple goals at times. This happened in the second period where we go out there and we don't play with any urgency or any confidence in the second period because we get down a couple goals, and it's like that's an excuse all day long for me. This is a veteran hockey team. It's inexcusable, and it's on me too. It's on all of us, and with a veteran team like that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, the other problem I have with the Leafs right now is to Craig's point here, like identifying, like playing with urgency. You got to look different when you play with urgency, right? You just can't look like you played like the last 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that changes, is that your behavior is changing with the urgency part, and that's not happening. The other part I have is, and we're going to talk about Mermis's fight and the things that I liked about it, or even Joshua at the end of the game. It's like,
Did you like that though? I
But
hated that.
I hated it because it wasn't at the start of the game. There was nothing to it. Like,
that was like not a bluff, but like I don't want to get in trouble for being soft. I should
read
do
the
something.
tea leaves, buddy. It's too late for that type of behavior. You want to get in the face of Jack-Eye and his brother at the beginning of the game.
And Kip, they did.
Like-
Craig Cuthbert thought it was happening, or Chris Cuthbert, I'm sorry. They lined up against each other, and he goes, "Oh, they're having a chat." It was first period.
It was they were down 3-0.
Oh, was it? At
So
that
I think
point?
it was
That's
just
right.
a-
They just scored to
They
make it
just
3-0.
scored,
You're right.
and
You're right.
they went to the low shot of them jawing.
And I was like, okay, he's going to
you know,
try to turn it around for the boys.
Even Mermis, like, buddy, you got to have it in your mind before the game, the night before the game, pre-game skate, the meal, when you put your head on the pillow for a nap at 2 p.m. that afternoon, that you may be in that position to do that tonight. You listen, as a fighter, as a guy that's done it, Mermis is capable. I've known that. We've known that since you came out of junior. He's capable. Maybe part of the reason why you haven't had a full-time job is because you don't know that you're capable of doing that, or when to do it, how to do it. But why not think about doing that right at the start of the game? You got two willing guys in the Jack-Eye brothers. Find them and set the tone. But it's too late. You sleep. You're down 2-0. You get embarrassed in the second. And then where are you guys? Saving face to go back to the dressing room to shower with your teammates to say, I did it. I fought. I got in their face.
It was 4-0 when he fought.
It was in the third period.
I
right?
don't know.
So it would have been
I don't
4-2.
know.
No, it was 4-1. They got the extra. They scored on the power play.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mermis, I don't think that was a premeditated situation. I think that was one where they're
But
both.
start making it premeditated then.
Yeah, but I mean, his guy's like
Start.
his career high in penalty minutes at any level is 50. He's not a fighter.
Then you know what? Then find one.
I'm going to give him credit for if Dakota Mermis has got to be the guy that's got to go in there and step
Yes,
to
he
the.
is. Yeah.
Why? Why can't
Why?
Dakota Joshua
because
do
there's
it?
no one else, and there's an opportunity for you,
No,
Sam.
I disagree.
Okay? No, I'm sorry, but find somebody. If it's not him, if he's a minor leaguer that does it once every, 2 months?
Well,
there's a reason why you were in the minors.
I think there's 2 points here, and one of them is the point you're making, which is no Leafs fan watched Dakota Mermis stand there and trade bombs with Jack-Eye and went, too late. Everyone was like, thank you.
Yes.
I think that.
We're
but hold on.
down to thank you.
Yes.
At any point in any game.
Your point, though, I think is valid, too, which
I'm trying
is
to win the game.
Can you bring me a guy who recognizes this is part of what he's here to do that can play? Like, who is it? Was it Sabourin on Tampa Bay who took the 4-game suspension in preseason?
Yes.
And Tampa was like, awesome. Come on up here. We'll keep you up while you serve it. We'll get you in again. We appreciate it.
They're screaming for that.
So
The fans
I'm
are
not
screaming
hanging
for
that on Mermis, though.
My point is, if you need him to
like-
be your emotional, if you need Dakota Mermis to set the tone emotionally for you, you're in a tough spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Let's hear. Can we hear Dakota? Or do you?
No, let's hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
Clip one, Mermis on his fight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you want to have some pushback. You're down at D, obviously, so that makes it hard maybe earlier in the game for something like that to happen. But he's, obviously he's in his first game, and, we know those guys, his brothers are what they want to do. He comes to the net. He's trying to have some pushback, spark something, late in the game. Obviously, they were able to get one, and, you just see what happens from there. But just trying to hold your ground, and, you don't give an inch.
I'm okay with all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing a team starving for that. I'm seeing a fan base starving for that.
Yeah.
Try to include it in whatever you do when it matters. That's my whole point. And as far as Joshua goes, like, I've seen enough, but I've seen enough. Like, it's not working. It's not working. You're not doing what you need to do. You're 6'3". You can set a presence. It's more on him than it is Mermis. I'm just using Mermis as an example of, hey, buddy, if you actually could bring that passion to me twice a week, you're not buried in the minors.
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to come and save them, but you'd be a hard guy to get out of this lineup right now.
I gotta say, he's becoming a hard guy to get out of the lineup.
I told you I liked him last week.
Yeah.
I said he's better than half the guys that I've seen so far in that blue line.
Yeah,
I got no problem with him at all. And if he could start reading the tea leaves on when and how, and he'd stay.
Yeah, no, it certainly wouldn't hurt him. I mean, so I wrote out my roster before the game when they're or before the show when they're healthy here. Nyes, Matthews, Robertson, McMahon, Tavares, Nylander, Lorenz, Lawton, Cowan, Joshua, Waugh, Yarncroc. That doesn't include Domi or Michelli. Those guys are both out. Blaze is out. Quillen is out. Riley, Tanev, McCabe, Benoit, OEL, Carlo, Mermis, and Stetcher are there. That's not a 16th place team, guys. So I don't know if they're ever going to have a chance figured out. I know they stunk when they were healthy at the start of the year. I saw that too.
I'm not sure. It may be a 16th place team. Like, honestly.
I find that hard to believe.
Like, Michelli was a healthy scratch for a Utah team.
Yeah. I got him as a scratch in the lineup I just gave you.
So, okay. Joshua came for a 4th round pick. Vancouver gave him away.
Yeah.
Was it a 4th or a 3rd? 4th? I think it was a 3rd, maybe. Anyways, continue.
Yeah.
It's a bad
So that's 2/3 in Nick Waugh, who, maybe he's capable of a third line shutdown. He's certainly not a top 2 centerman. We know. Okay, granted, maybe he can, but they needed an identity line, and that's the 2 guys that you targeted, Joshua and Michelli.
Yeah, it's hurting bad. It's really hurting.
And
$3.5 million.
you got Zippo out of them. Zippo can't score, can't make plays, can't fight, can't intimidate. That was a big part of your DNA switch. And I'm sorry, Brad, so far in 20 games, you're 0 for 2 with these guys.
They must be really disappointed with the Joshua thing. What kills me is it reminds me of when Trent Frederick said, like, I only have 1 goal, so I can't fight. Who's going to fight a guy with 1 goal? And I think everyone around him is going, we don't care. Someone will fight you. Florian Jack guy found a fight last game. Yeah. He's got 1 game.
Yeah.
So, for Joshua, it's like, you got to find a way to contribute. And what I don't get is for these guys who are struggling to find a purpose and it's not working, whatever, it's such an easy thing to go out there and be the physical guy and agitate and have some contribution outside of scoring. Kip, you know that. And so I don't get why they don't get
Saturday night.
Because they don't want to.
Saturday night.
Got their money.
The stars of Saturday night. Tell me who the 2 stars were Saturday night.
The Leafs? Or in the game?
In the game.
It's the Jack guys.
The brothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. The brothers.
I won't be doing my job on this show if I sit here and let us have a show that isn't about their hockey team was so much better than Toronto's, and it wasn't about who punched each other harder or who did more agitating. No. That team could move the puck. They had D-men who could skate. They made passes.
The
Leafs couldn't play hockey.
But the brothers brought a presence.
They brought dessert to a dinner that they finished.
They bring a presence. And don't ever underestimate what the brothers do to make the skill feel a little better, a little calmer, give you more room. Okay, it's a tone.
Yeah, but
the Leafs don't have a tone.
If you put the Jack guys on the Leafs,
yeah,
they're no better.
No, they are better.
They might be worse.
They are better.
Florian Jack guy's going to move the needle.
If they make one of your stars feel a little better, a little braver, a little taller, knowing that someone's got their back, they play a little differently.
Yeah.
They do, JB.
That's fine.
I've lived it. I know.
Yeah, I got,
I know. They do.
And so maybe right now,
and they at least don't even have one guy.
William Nylander is top 10 in NHL scoring. And I know you didn't like his game on Saturday night. He's not changing.
Did you?
No, not really.
But he ended up with a goal and assist.
But he's not afraid. And John Tavares isn't afraid. I don't know who you're going to get more out of on this Leafs team if you have another.
There's times where I see they're less than capable of going in there and fighting a little harder.
No, maybe.
Or stirring it up. Or
it's just
okay.
Surely you don't identify that as the key reason they lost that
Matthews.
game.
Go ask Austin Matthews about Ryan Reeves and how it made him feel. Okay, that's all you need to know.
That's all fine. But you didn't watch that game on Saturday and go, boy, that team's tougher than that team. That's why it's 5-1.
Yeah, I did.
5-1.
I did.
Well,
I did. I absolutely did.
Yes, I agree.
I see a team that has a little bit more moxie.
And that was the number one reason they beat Toronto on Saturday night.
No, there's an abundance of reasons, but I'm just giving you one.
Yeah. Listen, I see that too, that they don't have guys willing to do it. I thought Pizzetta was going to be that. I thought they had someone who just wanted to be this call-up guy. I don't know. He's been hurt, and he's not even getting a chance. Quillen gets scratched. Hold on, one more thing.
Yeah.
This whole lack of merit with Berube and who he scratches and who he plays is killing me. It's killing me.
You and a lot of other people.
Jacob Quillen not playing that game after being awesome in his couple games. Not fair. Domi's 15 minutes.
Awesome, but noticeably good.
Did the things he was asked to do.
Noticeably good.
Did the things the coach wants to do. Did the direct things. Did all the things we're told matters.
Correct.
Domi gets his 15 minutes. He's out there in the last few minutes as they chase the game. Not sure why. Joshua continues to be out there and play his minutes. How is this guy not watching a game from the press box? Is there any accountability, or is it just we don't want to look bad for the guys we've paid, so we play them?
Yeah, I think your last point has to be the one that needs to be answered. I don't know, but it does make sense.
Yeah.
Right?
They're giving these guys every chance to figure it out because they bet on them at the start of the year.
Yeah, not only did, they take out Quillen, who I think everybody thought was doing a great job for them, like you said. And, I think Joshua has been in the crosshairs of a lot of Leaf fans. Then not only does he, stay in the lineup, he gets a promotion to the second line.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only does he, stay in there, he gets more ice time, and they're trying to move things around, and they got this constant blender going, whatever. So it's almost rewarding. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
think
it's
other
hard
guys
to watch.
see that and go, okay,
what am I
so
doing
it doesn't
here?
matter. You see the Yarncroc quotes today? Not that I know we're not too worried about Cal Yarncroc, but his comments were just, I thought I had a good start to the year, and then I was out. Then I was back in and was okay, and then I was out, and now I'm in again. He was he didn't say anything critical of the team, but he was explaining his year so far, and he's like, I'm trying. I get put in. I don't know when or why, and sometimes I'm 19 minutes, sometimes I'm a scratch.
I can't imagine him, Max, Cowan. There's a number of them that come to the rink not knowing. Just not knowing.
Am I on the first line or am I eating popcorn? Literally no idea.
And I can tell you, and you've lived it too, it's not easy.
No,
it's
tough
a
job.
mind, you know what?
Yeah.
And I get it. You're a pro. Just when you're called upon, do your best. When you're not called upon, wait for your opportunity. That's all part of trying to be a pro, but
yeah,
doesn't always work out well for you.
I had a stretch where I played 10 games over 3 months in the American League. And when I got in, I got to play with Kyle Opozo and those type of guys. And it's didn't go great, when you get back in, it's it's so hard.
But I skated with you. What happened? You're good. God, you should have been a contender.
So
I needed your moxie.
I think the biggest question right now is the coach. It's the number one thing that people are talking about. So
Does it change anything if he's different, if it's someone else? I'm asking sincerely, not as a sarcastic.
I personally believe no.
I believe he's not going anywhere.
Yep.
But I don't believe that he's got unlimited bank to have periods like the second period in Montreal.
Right.
Like
Where it's like they would like him to figure it out.
Like even if they're fighting like cats and dogs to get into a playoff spot, I believe Craig Berube is going to be the guy behind the bench. But you start getting caved in like that, all bets are off for me. Like there's some times where you have to make a change just for the sake of making a change. You just cannot keep going on with games like Saturday night in the second period and then turn around and your coach saying, we gotta try harder, or, we gotta dig in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Like that won't fly for 60 more games.
I think a lot hinges on this trip here. And, at the start of the show, we talked about how, you can't make playoffs. The old golf analogy, you can't win the tournament on Thursday, but you can lose it. The Leafs are getting close to, you can't make playoffs, but you can miss them in the first little bit here. And so I think the pressure is on this trip where it's like you got 5 games now. I believe 4 of them are teams out of a playoff spot. It's Pittsburgh, Columbus, Detroit.
No, it is starts on Wednesday in Columbus, Washington Friday, Pitt, and then in Florida, in Carolina.
Right.
Yeah, that's
the last 2 are hard.
That's fork in the road.
Yeah,
it is.
So basically, those last 2 being so hard, you're talking about Columbus, Washington, Pittsburgh. But I know they're good teams.
The way
they're fine. But
the Leafs are in last.
But Sam, when you're a bad team, you look at every team and go, "Oh, they're all right."
No, but
they're not good teams. They're not.
They're not good teams.
But the Leafs are worse.
The Leafs are they're literally in the standings worse than every single one of those teams.
Yes.
Because they can't be below anybody else in the East because they're last.
If you believe, though, that they're not this team, and I believe that they're not the 16th best team in the East, you should be able to make some hay here. I know they're
13th, 12th? Better? You feel better at 12?
I think they're a playoff team. They're a playoff team when healthy.
I can't see it right now.
Yeah.
I hope you're right.
you were right about the Oilers that one year when me and Kyper both said no shot.
Yes.
And they came back.
But
they
here's
were
the
5
thing.
and 12.
I'm not confident that the Leafs are going to get it sorted out, like health-wise. I'm not. If they never get fully healthy, it's not going to happen. And if you're so fragile that a couple injuries makes you miss playoffs, you're not that good, so it probably doesn't matter. So I am worried about that. I personally do think that a different coach would move the needle. But
you think Peter DeBoer could turn around this thing right now?
And to be clear, it's not because I think Berube can't coach a team to success. He's won a cup recently.
Yeah.
The
Leafs got the furthest they literally have ever gotten in this era with him behind the bench.
I do not think he's a bad coach. I do think a different coach for this group would be great. I think, a new voice and a new strategy, this game plan, not working here for this team. And I don't care how hard you press the try harder button, it's not going to work.
Would you do that right now if you were Brad Treliving?
If I was a soulless, I had no...
Yeah, you're in charge, buddy.
No personal whatever.
You're in charge.
This is a computer game. Yes, I would. But I understand that a lot more goes into it, right? There's finances. He's owed millions and millions of dollars.
Oh, don't even blink at that.
And there's the chance.
This is the Toronto Maple Leafs, the richest hockey organization on the planet. If they think that will get them in the playoffs, it's like a cup of coffee being spilled.
But I do think that if you're Berube, you go, last year we won the Atlantic, second round. This year, my team is decimated with injuries.
Yeah.
And my goalies have been stinky, and I'm fired.
And not around.
Like, do I get I am tempted to say, let him get healthy, see how it looks after that. Probably the tack I would take.
But you let him get healthy, see how it goes. We just said this time next week, if they drop the next 4 or 6.
Yeah. But they should be healthy, Kip. Wednesday, these guys should be back.
All right.
Matthew skated, Nye skated.
Let's take a break and then come back.
We'll go to break and we'll get into that in terms of the updates on the players and the continuation of, secrecy around players. It's one thing to see a guy go down.
Yeah.
and it's another one to go, where did he get hurt?
Was he abducted by an alien spaceship? Can we get some
All right,
details?
plenty more on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, Leaf Edition, as we discuss injuries and how they're reported right after the break. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee.
Uplifting break conversations with Real Kyper and Bourne.
The topic is just
How many guys did we trade in the break?
Oh, well,
there's a point where you would have to conceivably make the pivot, right? Like
Where is the pivot? Tell me where the pivot is.
if they come back 0-5 on this trip and they're
Yeah.
9-15, what are you playing for outside of let's just kind of retool here and take a swing at next year?
Kyper, your favorite website, Money Puck, yesterday said that the Leafs playoff chances are now lower than their first overall pick chances.
You know, if I'm going to have a highlight this year, it will be the look on your faces when I told you that
11?
the odds were at 11, and you guys looked at me and said, "No way!"
To be clear, every other place on the internet wasn't even close to that. So I'm not saying. But,
I've always been a big Money Puck hater, so you know. But
yes,
they're
it's
the
bad.
ones that are most up to date, though.
Can
Athletic lacks a few games here and there.
can we just go down the soft sell road for 1 second?
Yeah, of course.
For 1 second?
We should.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson's going to get you a prize right now.
He's the best player on the team.
He was,
Not trading him.
I mean,
What is the prize?
a pick, a first-round pick, potentially.
Sure.
I mean, they
I'm
need him.
telling you, Carlo's not that far off. I know he's struggled this year. Carlo isn't that far off from getting one or two good
Done.
pieces.
Done.
I'm
Immediately
telling
done.
you. He's young. He's a right-handed D. He can munch minutes. Okay.
He's absolutely
No,
getting you a first.
And
You think?
he's cheap.
Yeah.
He's under $4 million because Boston's picking up a portion of his
For
salary.
this year and next.
And teams get him for this year's playoff and next year's playoff. So there's value in these guys, but
McMahon's UFA.
what is
Get you an asset.
what is waving the white flag on that? That has to come at March, guys. Has to come at March.
Yeah, there's just no world where this team, who's started the year saying we're all in, is going to make a early December pivot to throw everyone overboard and load up for next year.
I agree.
Won't
They're
happen.
not doing this now, but if they still reek getting close to the trade deadline, I hope to God they're listening on Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Carlo, all these guys.
100%. If you're at a point where you're like, we're not
Do
making
what Boston
playoffs,
did last
Think
year.
about how many shows we have to do between now and then.
Hey,
How
at least
many-
we get-
I'm
boys,
not
we
worried
get a
about now
month.
and then. I'm worried about after then.
Yeah, we get a month off, basically. We'll be doing probably do shows about the Olympics
Okay.
and talk about that. But
So-
after the trade deadline, it gets really grim if they stink.
Outside of their play,
Okay.
is it legitimate to have a beef with the Toronto Maple Leafs the way they handle injuries?
Yes.
I mean,
Or are they just like any other team?
No.
Upper, lower body, scram, beat it. We're not giving you any more information.
I don't love to take credit for a lot of things, but I mean, we've been talking about this for a year and a half, and now it seems like it really is starting to piss everybody else off. It feels nice that it's not just me that it pisses people off, but Petrilli's writing about it. Siegel's been writing about it. Like it's in the ether now.
Yeah,
People are talking about it.
It's a very real thing that, you talk about Doc on Montreal took a puck to the foot and they said his foot's broken, out 4 to 6 weeks. Lawton took a puck to the foot.
Lower
we
body,
heard
week to week.
Week to week. Didn't see him for like 6 weeks. We had no idea the whole time where we're at, why we're at, this, whatever. And now with all these guys, every guy is a complete mystery.
Like, I mean, we didn't even.
Who is this helping? Who is it helping? Who's it for?
The players?
I don't know. We've had this
Team
conversation
policy?
already once
I know.
where it's like, where is the benefit? Who's benefiting by withholding such information? The Leafs, Craig Berube,
I could
the
not
doctors.
I don't know.
I don't know where where it gets lost.
Like Stolarz is really weird.
Like the weirdest.
Like he left the game, pulled himself, maybe we thought.
And then Craig had reported in his scrums, I think the following day, we may see him back as early as tomorrow or.
No, he said it's not that big a deal. He should be back this week. Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not that big a deal.
Not that big of a deal. Was that 2 weeks ago? close to
against
2 weeks
Boston.
ago.
That was in Boston.
And
Tuesday
he's
night
still
in
not
Boston.
been on the ice.
No, he's not been on the ice.
And so I also we didn't see Carlo get hurt. He just kind of
No.
went away. What was that?
He just disappeared.
Yeah. And who else?
Wah.
Waugh, we didn't see get hurt.
Nyes
Disappeared.
took part in morning skate. They've tweeted pictures of him leaving, heading into the rink, and then he just doesn't play.
So let's listen. Do you want to do that? We got stuff on all these guys.
Okay, let's go to Berube, clip 9 on Carlo and Stolars.
No, he did not get it back on the ice today.
Has Anthony skated?
Nope. He's a ways away.
So
Stolars is a ways
a
away.
ways away.
Nope.
Ways away.
Yeah.
I mean, can you play that again, Andrew, if you don't mind? Just
No, he did not get it back on the ice today.
Has Anthony skated?
Nope. He's a ways away.
I mean, you don't like to read
for the
a lot
record,
into
though,
this.
He sounds frustrated and pissed.
That's what I mean.
Like he's had it. Berube's had it up to here too on
I'm
this.
sure he's being told to talk like that. I'm sure he's not allowed to say anything. I'm sure he'd like to say more.
Like for him, it would be so much easier just to go out and be like, "Hey, he's going to be out for 5 weeks."
No,
strained
and then
his
you don't
oblique.
How about this? No update. That's it.
But
no
how about-
update.
No, but then you get that asked the same question the next day.
Then no update again. But what you can't do is throw in the maybes and all the rest of it, or even like week to week.
But
Don't even throw in. We just leave it.
But for a goalie, wouldn't it be fine to be like a bit of an oblique strain or something? He's just waiting for the pain to,
Yeah, that would probably be
I don't know.
better, but you're not getting that.
Do you have any idea what it is?
Okay, let's just. No, I don't.
Okay.
For the record.
Yeah.
So we're going to
Record.
do what we do the most often than not on this show for the past
Transcribe
5
that.
years. We're going to speculate.
Okay.
Okay. Like for Berube on Stolars about 10, 12 days ago to come out and say, yeah, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And, maybe he could skate soon or tomorrow or whatever he said at that time suggests that it isn't a definitive
Physical,
broken wrist, hip flexor, something that is going to get healed with a certain amount of time that you can speculate. But to go from that 12 days ago to today, where he said,
Nope.
ways away, can only suggest one thing to me. The Stolars wakes up and he doesn't feel well, right? I don't feel well. So did he get bumped in the head? Is he dealing with some sort of, concussion-like symptoms?
Mm-hmm.
That's me speculating now,
Yeah.
my expert opinion
Yeah.
of what this could be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That-
that tracks.
That
Tracks.
to me,
The only other thing is
somehow-
muscle related.
Somehow, some way.
Oblique.
Groin.
No, even those are, you're going to have something.
Yeah.
You don't come out and think that a guy's going to skate the next day or he's not that far off. And then 12 days later, he's far off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's my best educated guess.
Should we check in with Matthews, Nyes, and Nick Waugh?
Yeah.
Any interest there?
Yeah, let's do it.
Clip 8, please.
Close. I'd say Matthews, Nyes, Waugh are close. Okay, so I'll probably know tomorrow if they're available Wednesday.
Okay, so no Tuesday
just-
if they're available Wednesday. All right.
I
Skated.
go back to
I'd like them to play. Is that a lot to ask?
No.
yeah, they need to play.
Oh,
Let's
you're
just hope he's
Okay.
he's accurate and you could see one or two of them by Wednesday.
If it's close enough that they're saying close, and your season is on a tipping point
You're
here,
treating it like a playoff series?
you
Get out
potentially
there.
should have the captain in the lineup. Is that fair to say or no? Is that insincere?
Well, I think you mean insensitive.
Correct.
I don't know. They very well could be like, look, if we put him back in and he re-aggravates this injury, you guys are going to be all over us. But I get what you're saying of like, if you're close, kind of the way things are going,
Could use you.
yeah, can you give us 15? We won't put you on the PK. I don't know. I get the point.
would like to see all three on Wednesday a lot, and that's just because
is Austin and other players now that are destined for the Olympics now factoring in that.
I get that a ton, boys. I mean, I get a lot of really stupid DMs from a lot of people who are pissed off about the Leafs right now. Don't let me tell you, but at the top of the list is this guy's saving it for the Olympics. I get that so much. And it could be stupid, but like
he
I don't
missed 9 games last year, and then with what we thought was a recurring incident, 6 games. We had talked well in advance last season around this time on whether or not he should participate in Four Nations tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He went anyways.
Yep.
Did it factor in how he felt at the end of the year? I don't know, but
No, we don't.
we don't.
We don't.
But it didn't stop us from wondering.
Never
And
stops
then-
us from
and-
wondering.
and now-
Anytime it doesn't go well, it's going to be like, what could you have done differently?
now- But not every superstar, had such off-ice issues or question marks like Austin did last year,
Mm-hmm.
right? He was the highest profile without a doubt. But are we going to start experiencing the same thing here?
I'm torn on all that, right? Like Matthew Tkachuk was the absolute most injured guy who couldn't even play parts of that tournament, and he pushed himself to the limit, and then he won the cup.
And he was wrong.
Yeah,
was
that's
wrong.
fine.
And they were wrong for playing him.
Yeah.
And it was just complete miscalculation because he didn't even factor in the last game,
Mm-hmm.
played like 4 minutes while you left a Kyle Connor, healthy guy up in the stands, right?
That was crazy.
Lose the game and tell me how that would have gone. Or Florida found a way to lose in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then think about the conversation on Matthew Tkachuk playing hurt.
Winning years all.
But I'm such a huge advocate for best on best hockey and us going back to the Olympics and having that. So I can't sit here and talk out of both sides of my mouth and say Matthews is a proud American. He wants to play for America. He shouldn't do it. Like if he wants to play, he's going to play and he should play. He's been the face of one of the faces of the league for 10 years. He's
I got
American.
news for you. They ain't paying him $13 million bucks a year.
I get it. But
Their
like,
first priority is the Toronto Maple Leafs.
and they look great. They look great.
Well, I mean, if you're a cynic and he's looking at his chances of winning a big prize to put on
Correct.
his resume at the end of his career, one of them's
I don't know.
got a lot better chance, the Olympics, not the Cup. But
I think he's going to play in the Olympics unless he's severely injured.
yeah, he is going to play.
Isn't he the captain?
Yeah, he's America's captain. They're doing their jersey today?
They are.
I think so. I saw Pete Blackburn tweeting about it today.
Is it out?
I don't think it's out yet, but he tweeted one of their old, like,
Do
the
they
U.S. can have some great jerseys. This is going to dictate our
Never been a
odds of
fan.
winning.
Not going to lie to you. Never been a fan. They've had exactly 0 good jerseys.
Oh, my
All
God.
right,
I'm
Can
going
we
to show you
nitpick some more?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go, baby.
Here's one. Okay. They play Saturday. They don't play against Wednesday.
Columbus.
They don't play till Wednesday.
Got home
Can-
Saturday night.
Could they not practice today? Full practice?
No.
I don't know. Like every team's screaming they don't have enough time to practice. I think
Today's
Saturday to Wednesday
perfect
would have
day to
been
practice.
a great day to go. Boys, let's close that gap up when our defense pass to our forwards. Let's close the gap a little bit. Let's practice that today.
You don't have to exhaust guys in a practice. A lot of it can be positioning, talking. You can work through. You can have power play practice where the guys just pass it around against guys with their sticks over or whatever. They're bad in all those categories. They're special teams guys, brutal. Goals against, brutal. They're
Do you have a clip?
Why they didn't practice?
Yeah.
We do. Clip
All right.
7, please, Andrew.
Well, there's been a lot of guys with playing a lot of minutes lately, injuries, all that. A little extra mental and physical rest for some guys, and other guys just kind of more of a reset day for those guys. Work on some things that we wanted them to work on with the development staff.
How are Matthews?
Oh,
I just know personally. Go ahead.
do you think that's his decision?
I don't know.
Yes, I do.
You think it's the coach's decision?
I think ultimately, I know it's coach's decision. Now, whether the training staff is saying these guys are dying, you can't play John Tavares 22-40. Your coach can still say, well, he's going on the ice.
Now, they did have this
You look like you've been playing 22-40 on
this
Saturday night.
sports science I don't know what's left of their sports science. A few of them, I think, packed up and left for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Right?
I
don't think there's a department now hammering on Craig Berube to back them off today.
Yeah.
So
they did go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy I know that was closest to that whole movement is gone. Yeah.
I think it's bad, really bad. Look, to not have a full practice
I think
today.
it's bad too. I do. Like as much as since Matthews has been out, Tavares is averaging 22-40, which is a
poor guy.
Indictment.
Poor guy.
No, it's an indictment of your team, and that's more than he should be playing at his age.
I feel bad for him. Like the whole world's on his shoulders right now to carry the offense.
And he looked like it
at this point.
He looked like it on Saturday night.
But
the Suzuki matchup was not a pretty one for them.
Still think that this is a day where you say, so I had a bad year 1 year, and I just wanted to be away from the rink all the time. Every break I could get, I just was burnt out, whatever. Sometimes, you got to get out there and grind through it. And when you play better, you'll feel better, and it comes from playing bad. You got to find a way to get better. And I don't know. I would have liked to see him out there today. Man, but the thing is, they're not changing their systems. Knobloch's changing their systems.
Play.
They're not.
Even a power play practice.
Yes.
I take a power play practice.
No one.
Bring all your stars and just say, I don't even care. Come out in running shoes. I don't care.
That was a turning
Just
point in
come
the
to the
game on
rink.
Saturday night where they were great for the first 10 minutes, outshot them, outchanced them, held the puck. They get the power play after the scrum in front of the net, and they just have this lifeless, emotionless power play. Saps them. No chances. They go down the other net way. And hey, why didn't they challenge?
Oh, yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
How do you not challenge that?
Insane non-challenge. Insane.
I think what happens too is there are definitive challenges when the video guys come into their
and
ear
they say definitely offside.
and say, yes.
Offside.
Okay.
Definite goalie.
This one, they said 50-50. And at that point, I think they're down 2-0.
No, it was the first goal.
Okay, down
First goal
1-0.
midway through the first.
Yeah.
They're down.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to take a 50-50 chance to go down 2-0 off of that.
Which they did immediately after anyways.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened.
Well, definitely.
The
video coach says, I'm not
There was a look
taking
on
the heat on this.
Berube saying, boys, give me something more or else I'm passing.
Yeah.
And I think he chose to pass.
I wonder if
But then the one earlier in the year where there was no contact at all and they did challenge it. Remember that
I
one?
wonder if the relationship is different with the video staff and Sheldon, where they were comfortable talking to Sheldon more openly about, here's my opinion, here's what you should do. Here, maybe with Berube, it's less.
Yeah, they seem to be having a tough year too.
Tougher.
The video room.
They were the best in the league. They're the talk of the town.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
They never missed.
But I think
Lifetime contracts.
But I think it is tougher when, maybe you don't have as much support or it hasn't gone as well. And I don't know at all, but to me, that's like the guy is going into your goaltender. Yes, he hits your D, but he spins out because he's bringing himself into your goaltender who's limited on a massive goal. That to me was, you got to challenge that one. Well, let's listen to the coach.
we have about a minute, so let's listen to it. Clip two, please.
Well, it was a tough one. He kind of spun him. Stetcher kind of spun him, and then the shot was off. Wall, probably wouldn't have got there. It was close. It was a tough one.
yeah, see. He
They just didn't know.
no, you do back off 50-50s.
I mean,
You need 80-20, 90-10.
they happen
50-50 is no good.
all around the league. He banged into him as the puck was entering the net. That's obvious challenge. Anyways,
Sammy for coach.
I mean, it would be way worse, but I would have won that challenge, boys.
All right. Unfortunately, we solved nothing this hour on the Leaf Edition Hour. We'll try to do better when we go national with Elliotte Friedman. Hockey Night in Canada next. It's the National Hour on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. We are live on Sportsnet, Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, Sportsnet 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Remember, you can download us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at your convenience. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Hockey Night in Canada. 32 Thoughts. Elliotte Friedman, give us an update on what he's hearing around the league, including his Saturday night headlines that he talked about on Saturday night with Ron McLean. So looking forward to that. In the meantime, Oilers, are they back?
Yeah, kind of. Trying.
Come on.
They beat the Panthers.
Beat the Panthers.
Does that invalidate the Stanley Cup?
Well,
I don't know.
Take it away. Give it to Edmonton.
come on, 2 points.
It's good. I mean, that's good progress for a team that needs it, and we think is certainly capable of getting hot. Jack Roslovic continues to stay hot, so that's good news.
Absolute grease by Greer with the takedown on Frederick.
Yeah.
Hated that.
Didn't love that.
That's a greasy one.
If we're going around Canada, Calgary Flames red hot, 3 straight wins for the Flames. All that does is muddle what they're doing. Doesn't help, right?
All since Cooley said, "Look, what's the matter? We're all going to die."
That truly is a tremendous quote, and I got to be honest, sometimes I kind of run that through my own brain too. Anyway,
But
no one cares.
Didn't someone say that last year too?
Yeah,
Was it him?
surely it was.
It might have been him. I feel like we've had this conversation
I
about
agree.
a very similar line that could have been him that said it.
Definitely.
I don't know how to look it up. It's not like
I think in the big picture, he's probably right.
No, he is.
But the window.
He's very right.
No, big picture he is.
No. There's a window between puck drop and me spending $150 to watch you and the end of the game where I care, buddy. I care.
Right, but he's trying to get himself to be the
Of
best
course he
version
is.
of himself, which means
Of
playing
course.
free.
No, he's trying to relax. That's
Yes.
what he's trying to do.
Oh my God, I'm in the NHL. Oh my God, I'm in the NHL. I got to give this guy his money's worth. 2-pad stack. Yeah. No, anyway, so I think it is confusing for Flames. Well, it's not confusing for Flames fans. They know the best thing to do would be to retool, but ownership doesn't want to do it. And they keep winning now, so.
Wow. They
That's
got themselves out of the basement.
Oh, God, yeah.
But why? The basement's a good place to be. There's 3 kids at the top of this draft that people are talking about.
Yeah. I can tell you that it would be very frustrating. I mean, I didn't really know the level of the conversation about from Don Maloney. Did you guys see any of that?
I read it. We got it, don't we?
Yeah, it's like, the only time you enjoy the first pick of the draft is at the draft. There's a lot of suffering to get there, and that's the farthest thing from our mind.
Oh, you enjoy it
boy.
for the next 12 years.
Is he just, he's just trying to protect, I think, the market a little bit for the next 60 games.
No one has an appetite
Listen,
to just burn it down to the
we
studs
gotta
and take it
think-
all down.
Some do.
I think the whole market does.
Okay, he could be fibbing a little bit, guys.
But hey, you're told by your owner what the plan is, right? Someone owns that hockey team.
Yeah.
And so Don is executing his boss's wishes the same way most of us are. If we have bosses, I don't know.
Yeah. But
We did have a boss.
he
He came in
knows,
here.
That's right.
he knows at the end of the year he's going
Sometimes.
to be better with Anderson and Kadri no longer on the roster and new, shiny assets
Yeah.
in the cupboard or on the ice.
You can sell hope in this business. If you're not selling wins, you can sell hope. And I think if you say, we got a first for him, we got a first for him, we got, this top pick coming, we're going to pick high. What if the Flames this year, they sold Anderson and Kadri and they got first round picks for sure for both this upcoming draft, and they had the first, second, or third overall pick, 3 firsts, including the top pick. You'd be like,
And
okay,
this
well, the
for-
franchise is fixed.
As of right now, they have round 1, and they have 2 first rounders this year. They have their own, and they have Vegas's first rounder, which they got in the Hannafin. That's a complicated one.
Yeah.
It's a 3-way trade. But anyways, they got the first rounder from Vegas. They have a second, third rounder from the Canucks. Like, they have assets already. And if you find a way to bring more of them in, I don't know. You got to rebuild sometime.
27, new
It's a-
building for them.
And like,
And that's the timing of it with these potential new assets is setting up the first couple of years in that new building.
Oh, yeah, UB Anaheim. You draft this year, you get 3 top kids. You know, you can turn it around pretty quick if they're legit, and at least one of them should be based on where the Flames are likely to finish.
Speaking of the Flames, the biggest goon in the league is back at it. Rantanen, suspended. But an automatic
What did you think
suspension.
of the hit on Coronado?
Awful.
Yeah, it's not good. He
Yeah.
was emboldened by not being
he-
punished
He
for the Romanov hit.
He leads the league in penalty minutes now.
yeah, he had a burr up his butt, I think, on
Is
that.
that the same?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's a bird in
in
your
his
saddle.
Burr.
Yeah, a bird in your saddle.
Burr.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're saying it right.
Yeah, but
I
he
don't
just
know.
said up
He's
your
just
butt.
saying it's on the saddle, not directly in your butt usually, but
Buddy, I'm telling you, the way he hunted him down, he had it up there. Okay? For sure. Like, I don't know what's going on with him.
That was a really bad. Like the one in, you could make an argument on the one on Romanov, who's
Sure.
out for 5 to 6 months. by the way.
he's
But I'm
he's
so
done. He's done.
not on your page on the hit on Romanov.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You can make. I said you can make an argument for it, but the one for
They
Coronado, there's no
passed.
argument.
No, that one for
Dirty.
sure. For
Just
sure.
dirty hit.
But he's suspended because of a rule. He's
Yeah.
not suspended with
No, the Department of Player
supplementary
safety. Oh, why can't we talk?
supplementary
Safety.
discipline.
You gotta
He's-
burn your mouth.
You got to burn your mouth.
I want to know where I got it from.
Hey,
Oh, Lord.
I think
God.
Dallas screwed up.
What do you mean?
First of all, the league wasn't going to suspend him. They deemed it an accident based on the trip and
Oh.
then falling into
Okay.
Romanov.
Right?
But the 5-minute major for boarding stayed. So what they needed to do was have it rescinded.
Mm.
And then
Well,
he
I
wouldn't be automatically suspended
I
for
think
one game.
he's a war criminal who should get 10 weeks of suspensions. That's what I think.
We'll see what our next guest thinks. Let's welcome in Elliotte Friedman, Hockey Night in Canada. Wow, your hair's way too neat, my
Yeah,
friend.
very nice.
Way too neat. How are you?
It's 5 p.m. Eastern. There's no excuse for a bedhead at this time of day.
Where do you want to start, pal? Do you want to start on some of your headlines from Saturday night?
Well, you know what, Nick? I was just listening to you talk for a second, and someone else made that same point to me today, actually. They said that if Rantanen was an accident, why wasn't the game misconduct taken away? The first one, the one against the Islanders. It was just interesting. I didn't even think about it until today.
I do think it's possible that they were like, it's an accident, but it's still a 5. Come on, you two.
Could be.
All right,
Could be.
so I'm going to do a trade board for Sportsnet.ca again. You brought up an interesting name in Svechnikov in Carolina. There's no question that there's underperforming there, and I'm sure between Brindamore or the owner Dundon, maybe the general manager too, they want to get this guy going here. But is this something that will stay calm for the next little while? I know he played just under 20 minutes on the weekend, but they want more out of him.
There's no question that's true. And Nick, I think right now this one is dormant unless he spends a lot of time on the fourth line again in the future. Like if you just go back a couple of weeks, he had one game where he played 11:48. And there were a bunch of games that he played that were really low. He was on the fourth line. And, to be honest, he wasn't producing either. I don't think he got a point this year until his 9th game. Well, since then, he's been moved back up. He's with Aho and Jarvis. He's playing closer to 20 minutes a game, as you said. Entering yesterday's game, which they lost, he had 12 points in 13 games. So this all kind of went away. But, I'll be honest, Nick, when I heard it on Saturday morning, I was blown away. I was like, there's no way that this is true. And I think what happened was he was frustrated. And he kind of said, look, like, and he kind of relayed to them, look, like if this is the way you guys feel and you guys want to move me, then I won't be against it. And I don't know how it got out, but it got out and they got calls, probably a couple. And they said, look, like, this is not what we want to do, but, make us a monster offer and we'll consider it. Now, the one thing that I kind of tried to figure out was this rescinded? Like sometimes people say trade me, and then they change their mind, say, no, I'm good. And I don't know that I would use the word rescinded. I would use the word it died down. Dormant was what I said earlier, but it's just something to watch in case he gets demoted for a long time again at any point during the year. I think people were surprised it got out because it was hot and then it wasn't, but sometimes that's what happens in this league. Something happens and we don't know about it for a little bit after. You know, though, I'll say this, though. Like, Nick, you played in a time where nobody was bold enough to make trade demands, right? Like, you just kind of did what you were told. And Justin, even when you were coming up, it was that way. It was like, you kind of do what you're told. Like, so in the last week, we've got Mintyukov coming out. We got Brad Lambert coming out. We know Svechnikov at least considered it a bit. It is a different world now. And people are telling me, like, the young guys now, and Svechnikov's a bit older, but the young guys now, they aren't waiting 2 or 3 years. They aren't taking a long time in the American Hockey League to marinate or anything. Like, there's more of these, I think, now than there ever have been. And in a lot of cases, or some cases, I think there's more than we're even aware of.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, like when I was coming up, I was aware of players who were drafted by very good teams and just toiled in their American League farm team for 6 years, and it never happened. And it doesn't seem like people are as willing to do that. So do you expect Mintyukov and Lambert to get moved?
I would think that the one thing is, like, Nick, you know for Beak as well as anybody, he's not going to be pushed into anything. But I think you can look at the situation there and see their number one guy is Jackson Lacombe. They just gave him like the richest dollar contract in Ducks history. He's the number one left side D. Zellweger has been really good, and he's been great for Trouba. Like, you can see there the path is tied up for Mintyukov. That right now he's their third D lefty at best, and you could say he's 3A. He's a talented guy, Justin. I can see this one ending up in a trade. The question is when. Mm-hmm. And Lambert, I would say the same thing. I think that, you know, Winnipeg, if you look at their last one with McGroarty, he asked for a trade. They waited for, a year? And they made sure they got a great prospect in Yeager. So I think Winnipeg will eventually do it too, unless Lambert changes his mind. But it's going to be for what the Jets want.
You're watching and listening to Elliotte Friedman, Hockey Night in Canada, 32 Thoughts. You also talked about Alex Tessier Saturday night. He ends up signing a 1-year deal with the Montreal Canadiens. And this isn't against Alex, but maybe just speaks of, I don't know, how desperate some teams are out there, because Alex got cut by one of the worst teams in the league. And then you turn around and you start hearing some of the insiders saying that there's 8 or 9 teams bidding for this guy, or at least interested in him. Does that tell us, like, again, how tough it is to go out there and improve your team?
Yes, it does. I think it's a very fair point. But the other thing too, Nick, is this year we're finding you can't have too many players. Like, look at all the injuries, and it's similar to Camp. Like, Camp, the issue with him was the number, not that he can't play. The issue was the number. He was at 2.4, and now he's at 1.1, so he can be handled a bit better. Texier was at 2.1, now he's at 1 million, so teams can handle it a bit better. But look, Montreal's been crushed by injuries. They needed a player, and basically you get the player, quote unquote, for free. It also says to me, Nick, that these guys want to be in the NHL. Like, Camp walked away from, $3 million. Texier walked away from probably about 1 and a bit, although it's going to be close once it all works out. But, these guys want to be in the NHL. But, someone was pointing out to me today, guys, if you think it's bad now with the injuries, look at what the post-Olympic schedule looks like. Like, there's going to be a lot of teams playing 20 games in 34 nights. So if you think it's bad now, wait till we see what it's like then. And like, whether it happens now, they're going to need guys like that.
I'll tell you something. How many of them will be in a playoff spot? How many of them will have their teams out? And how many of them will shut it down after the Olympics?
Yeah,
Keep an eye on that.
Fascinating to watch. You know, I'm familiar, having been with the Marlies there with guys coming down from the NHL. In one case, I think we had was Brooks Light came down, and he was saying to Sheldon Keefe, came down and said, "I'm a hockey guy. I'll do whatever you need." And he played in the minors for 2 weeks, and he wasn't doing what we were asking of him. And so he said, Sheldon said to him, "I thought you were a hockey guy." And he goes, "Turns out I think I'm an NHL guy."
I'm not a minor leaguer guy.
Yeah, not so much hockey.
I always remember Glenn Healy's line about the American Hockey League when he was sent down when the Leafs had they had Joseph and they had him and they had whoever else they had. He goes, "World's longest tarmac." That was the line he always used.
Telquist, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Maybe it was Telquist.
Ooh,
That's
I pulled that one
never
out.
forget.
So,
World's longest tarmac.
yeah.
Oh God.
I wanted to ask you about things in Toronto. We just had our Leafs hour. Things are bad. Not sure if you heard this.
Yeah.
They're actually in 16th. That may have come up as well.
Dire.
Yeah, things are dire. And so looking at the directions they can go, you can change your coach, you can trade players, you can decide to rebuild and trade players for future assets. What is the status of things in Toronto? What are you hearing about, what could happen over the coming weeks?
Justin, I think this though, like, what if they're not going to trade one of their big four guys? And I'm talking Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, and Knies. I would put them as those guys. I don't know that there's a needle mover there for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might just have, like, in season, Justin, they might have to look at this and say, yeah, there's some things we can do that are kind of small, but do you see like a needle mover deal that can be made with the rest of that lineup? I don't. And so, like, this might just be the group that has to figure it out and get through the season. So that's number one. And, I've been thinking a lot about Berube in the past couple of days. And look, last week, I completely agree. I completely felt strongly that he wasn't in any jeopardy, and I still don't know that he is. I just think that the longer this goes on, if this doesn't continue, everybody here is going to be on alert for what could potentially happen. But I got to tell you guys, just watching Berube and that thing that Kyle did at the top of the show at 7:00 last week about his reaction to the injuries, like, I think that is the number one thing right now that is frustrating everybody. And that is that I know on the outside, we go crazy about the fact that you can't get accurate timelines on injuries. I think internally it's making those guys crazy. How we're going from this to this to this, and I'm not saying anyone's faking it or anything like that. It's just that from Matthews, we've gone from a couple of days to maybe Montreal to now hopefully Wednesday. Stolarz has gone from it's not that bad till it's worse than we thought. Knies, they thought he was going to play and then he wasn't going to play, and he's been out a couple of games. I'm hearing that's a real source of frustration. Like, why can't we get an accurate handle on what these things are? And I think that is the thing right now that's getting everybody really frustrated.
Elliotte, do you believe that it widens past just following the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we know what injuries mean to the NFL with the gambling around it? Do you think this needs to get revisited? Has it ever been talked about? You think it would pick up steam that maybe the league needs to revisit this?
I've had that with some of the gambling scandals recently, Nick. I've been asking about that. And, I am sympathetic to the fact that around playoff time, players get targeted. Like, I don't like people who discount that. I think it's a very real thing. In the playoffs, maybe not so much now, but in the playoffs, if people find out guys got an injury, they're all over players who get hurt. And especially in those areas where they're injured. So I am sympathetic to that. One thing, Nick, that I have talked about that before is, Bettman feels very strongly that with the prop bet stuff, that first of all, every time he talks about it, he says, I don't believe our players would do that. So he talks them up. But number two, he feels that it's harder to do in hockey than, say, in basketball or baseball or football. But like the way they find this stuff out is if the betting companies turn them in. So I think they feel pretty comfortable that if something was to happen, they would know about it. Where I've had the argument with people in the league, though, is in the NBA situation, one of the coaches that was busted was giving injury information that the public didn't know. I do think that is a weakness that the league has to be aware of. I just don't know, barring the fact them being forced to, are ever going to move on that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wanted to ask about a couple teams that are likely to do some moving. Nashville's like one of those few teams that we know is a seller, we know has assets. What is your expectation for the Preds?
I think they're going to start moving people, Justin. I just don't know when. Like, I think at some points in time, they've talked about some of their veterans. I think at other points in time, they've talked about maybe younger guys like Evangelista and stuff like that. Not like the Kemmels of the world, but other guys. So I think the biggest question is what do they want to do, and what are their players willing to do? Like, I think the guy that everybody would go after, Justin, is O'Reilly. And even though he doesn't have protection, they have kind of told him that you will have a choice here. We made you that promise, so we will treat you as if you have a no move. And I think he's the guy that if Nashville or O'Reilly himself ever give the okay, that's going to be the guy that a lot of teams are going to be going after.
Seems, Elliotte, like teams are reluctant to use the rebuild. I think Barry Trotz was quoted as we're in transition. Not rebuild. And we heard from Calgary. So maybe for our Calgary 960 listeners, what do you make of Calgary, making it public, at least giving the impression that we need more Kadris, not get rid of them or trade them?
Nick, I didn't think that Calgary needed to do that last week. It's still early. And the other thing, too, is in a lot of ways, you could look at the Flames and they'll say they've already begun their rebuild. Like, look at all the young guys they have who are going to be playing for them in the next couple of years. Wolf is going to be the backbone. He's signed for 7 more years. He's still young. But you can see that Parek's going to be a player. Gridden's going to be a player. And you're hoping that some of their other guys, like Muse, who's unfortunately injured right now, and the 2 guys they drafted in the first round last year, Reshny and Potter, are going to be players. Like, Calgary actually has a very strong pipeline. There's a couple things here. Number one, the players have a big vote in this. Rasmus Andersson doesn't have a contract next season, and they're not even. The last I heard, they weren't even close. So if Rasmus Andersson wants what Calgary's not going to be willing to give, he's going to be out. Now, I checked on Saturday. I don't think any of their veterans have asked for trades. I think right now they're willing to play it out and see how it goes. And I think we know the math is really against them. They're not going to make the playoffs likely. But, what happens if in 3 or 4 months, for argument's sake, a Nazem Kadri says, you know what, I'm a little older. I want to go somewhere else where I'm closer to winning. Like Markstrom did that. Hannafin did that. So this might be a decision that's made for the Flames instead of them making it. So I don't know that they needed to do that last week. They play hard. They went out and they won 2 games. They're still 31st in the league. I think let's just let this organically go and see where we end up, because the Flames, whatever they want to do, they're already rebuilding if you really look at it. And the other thing too is if their players say, you know what, this is too far away for me, they're going to have to make that choice anyway.
Sure seems like every name we hear mentioned is tied to Montreal. Montreal thinks they're going to do this here, do they?
They're a big one.
Yeah.
Montreal is one. I would say New Jersey. Like the way New Jersey
because of Hughes or separate from Hughes?
Well, also look at the way they've played for the most part, Justin. They've had, before Hughes went down, they were 13-4-1 with a ton of injuries, right? So I think they feel pretty good about themselves. New Jersey, Carolina, Ottawa. I think they're looking ahead. I do. I think they think they're in their window right now. Their contract situation dictates that they're in their window right now. Dallas, Colorado, I think there's teams here that are waiting. And I'll tell you someone else too. I mean, I think now Vancouver 30th in the NHL with the Quinn Hughes situation hanging over them. I think that's a team we're going to start hearing a lot more about too.
What about the actual noise around Quinn Hughes and what 30th place does to that, Elliotte? Because we're all under the impression that he wants to win now, and if he doesn't see a window of it, we all believe that he's going to walk. Is it not where it's leading us to?
Well, look, Nick, like it doesn't look pretty right now. There's no question about that. You know, one of the things I've noticed is I don't know if they spoke to him or what they did, but you know, last night was post game. It doesn't bother me so much, but he if you noticed him a couple weeks ago, like he looked really miserable, and he kind of changed that. So I think when you're the captain, you kind of have to not you try to hide that from time to time, and I think he's done a better job of it. Like to me, Nick, it comes down to me. I'm curious to see where everybody is at the Olympic deadline, because at the Olympics, because the Olympics starts a month before the trade deadline, but it also gives everybody time to breathe and figure out what they're looking at. That for me is the big time this year. Like, where's everybody at the deadline at the Olympic tournament? Hughes is going to be there. Maybe these conversations happen while he's playing there.
And last one. I know we're going to let him go, but Jordan Kyrou in St. Louis, any chance?
I always think there's a chance there because he's kind of the guy that always gets benched first, but he has say, right? Like he's so they draft night, Justin. He could have gone to Seattle for the 8th overall pick. Ooh. And Seattle said no. They changed their minds. They decided not. Shouldn't say changed their minds. They decided not to do it. Since then, now he's got control. But I think it would have to be a place that he would be really happy with.
Elliotte, before we let you go, our boy Sammy needs an Olympic ice update. Like, so the NHL sent their people over. What did they find out?
I think they found out we're going to give them a month to really show us that they can do something here. Actually, Sam, I'll say this. Like, I heard that is going to be the biggest concern is just the quality of ice for the tournament. I don't think the building as much is I made a joke about it. I asked someone 2 weeks ago, what does the building look like? And somebody said to me, Stonehenge. And I said, there's no way it's that bad. You're making that up. And he kind of laughed. I heard initially someone said to me, they heard at the beginning the roof was too low and they had to raise it a bit. But I think the ice issues are going to be the thing. That's the thing here.
The NHL's playing hockey in Florida. Bring the dome bubble thing they're going to set up.
I totally agree with you. I think that's part of the NHL's frustrations. Like they have and the players, they have no control over this. This is IOC, IIHF. And if you've ever renovated a house, and I have, and it was like the biggest nightmare I went through, you know how infuriating this can be.
Elliotte, great stuff as always, man. We really appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks so much, Friedge.
All right, guys. My pleasure. Have a great day.
All right. One of the best hockey insiders, Elliotte Friedman, Hockey Night in Canada.
That's a lot of updates.
I would argue the best.
Through the league there.
I would argue the best.
Absolutely. That was good stuff.
But second best. Come on.
To you? Well, you're not fully in the game anymore.
Doesn't matter.
You don't admit to being in the game.
Meanwhile, he's on the phone for 4 hours.
Fully retired.
I don't know about that.
Game time?
Didn't love that.
What didn't you love?
Olympic rink.
The roof being too low is very funny.
Playing in like a Slurpee.
It could be not great, man.
Skating.
If the ice is bad though, like owners would be like, I'm going to send every good player I have over there to a sketchy ice.
My junior team played the new barn, like first day it was built sort of thing, and you would stop and whole like shards of ice, like big chunks would come out. Like you got to work ice in. You got to skate on it.
Can you imagine being like the owner of the Colorado Avalanche? And you're like, we're sending McCarr, McKinnon.
No, the insurance companies.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, they're like, oh, God.
No, well, that's their pocket.
Yeah.
But the Avs are talking about losing cups.
Yeah.
What is that worth to your franchise long term?
Natchez will go for the checks. Like, their whole team's going to go. Maybe their goalies will go for Canada.
All the wood of the forest of goaltenders they have.
Yeah, they're all right. It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app's latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. It's 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. We got 7 games on tap tonight. Feels like a lot for a Monday, but here we go anyway. Probably the best game of the night. I would say it's later on in Utah. The Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights and Utah Mammoth play every night.
It feels like they play every night.
I feel like they play every night.
Yeah.
The Mammoth and Golden Knights, like I said, in Utah. Vegas Golden Knights minus 115 on the money line. Utah minus 105. The lone Canadian team in action is the Ottawa Senators in LA to take on the Kings.
There's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good game. Kings are playing a lot better, and this line would reflect that. They are minus 165 favorites on home ice against the Ottawa Senators. Ottawa Senators are plus 140. The New York Rangers are hosting the St. Louis Blues. Rangers big faves in that one, minus 140. Plus 120 on the money line for the Blues. You're going to say something?
I was going to say something about Ottawa. Our own Alex Adams here has an article today about the Senators' third line being the best in the NHL. Amadio, Shane Pinto, Claude Giroux. They are killing it.
Yeah, they are.
Also, they win every faceoff.
Yeah.
Also, that Pinto's a pretty good player.
And Giroux's perfect right there, where he's not
the guy.
You're the guy. He's not paid like the guy, but he's still got talent and he can play.
All right, well, love that line
plays the
so
game.
much. How about a Michael Amadio anytime goal at plus 600 tonight against the LA Kings? So that was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app's latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. That's 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Okay, let's take a quick break, catch our breath, and we return. We'll get into some injuries, update some injuries, including a very important player on JB's New York Islanders down for
Romanov?
what could be the remainder of the season. Yeah. Kucherov also took a big hit from you-know-who, Tom Wilson.
9 straight W's for the Colorado Avalanche.
Plenty more when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, our very own Sammy McKee. So yesterday, there was a 0-0 score after 60 minutes. For the last 20 years, we've changed a lot of rules to open up the game.
Mm-hmm.
Can't clutch. Can't do this, can't do that. Offensive zone faceoffs, penalties for flipping the puck over the glass. Everything to create offense.
Mm-hmm.
How can we still produce a hockey game 0-0 after 60 minutes?
Well, and not much different. The Avs won 1-0 yesterday. It's in their game. So there was 2 games that combined for 1 goal. And then a shootout winner by the Isles, Kyle Palmieri.
Wow.
I know. I don't know. Pretty uncommon.
I don't know either.
But those Islanders guys,
That's
they're
crazy.
They're climbing. That is a nutty.
That's crazy. Romanov out 5 to 6 months. This one
Off a total fluke.
We've beaten that to death. So let's leave that
Let's
alone.
continue to beat it to death.
No, but
No.
No,
like he was turning into a very important player for the Islanders.
Yeah, it's funny because he has all the tools, and there were definitely Islanders fans who were like, he's got another gear. But one thing I do like about him is he was physical. Like he'll run through guys, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
fun to have back there.
Speaking of which, Tom Wilson, I think Saturday, Ron McLean on Hockey Night in Canada listed all his casualties over his career.
Yeah.
And then, did you see the hit on Kucherov?
I actually did not. No.
Okay, it was like a nothing hit.
Okay.
Well, no, it is something when Tom Wilson hits you.
Right. It's
But
like getting clipped
it
by
was
a
not
train. It's still not
by
great.
Any stretch, anything that could be remotely challenged.
Mm-hmm.
But Kucherov went into the boards like an accordion.
Mm-hmm.
And just another message, I think, to Team Canada that I can contribute in many ways.
If you need me to cripple our opposition, I'm here. No, I know what you're saying. Like that is an appeal of what he does. I think he's made Canada. I do. I think that's a foregone.
I think you're right.
Can I tell you what I heard? I heard a little something about Team Canada. I heard that it's going to look a lot more like the Four Nations roster than my roster.
Okay, now why is that? Because they put a lot of stock into guys that have been there for us and deserve the benefit of the doubt. Will they open it up though?
Well, some of the guys who didn't make it for a reason. So I'll go ahead and give a name. Mark Scheifele. He didn't make Team Canada the Four Nations face-off, and it wasn't because they thought other guys necessarily were having better years. For whatever reason, they didn't see a fit. Whatever the coaching staff, whomever, he wasn't quite good enough for them then. And that probably hasn't changed, right? It's the same people making the same choices. Scheifele's top 10 in the league in points, but I don't think he's a lock. I think it's going to look a lot more like it looked before.
The one thing I think a lot of people do is they just put so much stock into top scoring. Like, oh, he's leading the league in scoring, or he's top 5. And even Celebrini.
Bedard's the same way.
Even, Celebrini, like, I think he's got a chance. I don't know for sure if he's going to be there or not. At the end of the day, they could just say, sorry, too young, not ready. To your point, wasn't involved at Four Nations. But the narrative of, automatic top scorer, like, John Tavares, right? Give him full credit for what he's been able to do on a very disappointing start for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's having a career start to the season, and people want to put the fact that he's producing in the first 20 games up against Team Canada. And to your point, Bedard, too, it's not the way it works.
Bedard's 4th in scoring in the NHL,
yeah,
and his points per game are better than that.
But
and I don't know that he's going to make the team.
But, 2 months ago, in his first 2 seasons, he's just like minus 76. Like,
but he's not that guy anymore.
Yeah, does that disappear? Does that disappear in 20 games?
A lot of it too is situational, and the guy who's making the decisions, who's going over the boards, is John Cooper. Do you want to go with Bedard, or do you want?
I get he's having
Cirelli.
I get he's having more success putting the puck in the net, and he's looked better and stronger. But is it enough to take him from not even a thought in his first 2 seasons to? Yeah, you made the Team Canada in 30 games.
Yeah.
I would say that this is what is the hardest thing about building these teams is making these decisions and being steadfast in them and having the potential of going into this tournament with all these incredible teams and not winning, and then being second guessed for the rest of your career when it comes to team building.
Buddy,
because on the surface, if they take Anthony Cirelli over Macklin Celebrini, I'm telling you what the nation's going to say. If you take, I think Connor Bedard is on a lower level than that. Like, I think people understand some of the defensive deficiencies, but like Macklin Celebrini's game's a lot further along than Bedard's is to me in terms of a two-way guy. Like, there is going to be some capital B backlash if that happens.
My team that I built had Scheifele, Suzuki, Celebrini, Wilson.
I loved Suzuki on Saturday
Bedard.
night. He was so good.
It was very close. Yeah, but I think it's going to look a lot more like the Four Nations team.
I'm just telling you, like, that's, hey,
but
and they won.
Suzuki could look amazing on your third line.
I think he's there.
Right?
I think he's
like, and if in a pinch, if he needs to step up in a top 6,
totally,
you have no problem.
So you put him on any
and Scheifele's the same way for me.
So you're thinking no Celebrini?
No, I think no Bedard. I think no Scheifele.
Okay.
And I think yes Cirelli, yes Hagel, Tampa guys.
That's going to be controversial. But if you win, if you have goal around your no one remembers what happened.
I don't know anything.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just asking your opinion on our opinion show.
And I'm just, my opinion of what they're going to do is changing.
There's lots of time. Best and best is happening forever now. There's lots of time for all those guys to play when we come third in the Olympics.
Third?
Okay, is there just...
I can't do Jays lost World Series Game 7. Leafs suck. I can't do this and then have Canada not win. There is so much mental health running on Canada. Like, if we don't win hockey,
if your mental health hinges on your sports team success,
it does.
You need to talk to someone.
I'm a generally very happy person, except my sports allegiances recently. Quite frankly,
He needs a new job.
Yep.
Honestly,
You could use a new job.
I would love a new job.
I think it would be better.
Like maybe a woodsman. Is that a job where I just could go to the woods and not watch anything?
Specific woodsman.
Just a woodsman.
What do you contribute?
How about a conservation
You know what's a
officer?
great
Just wanna
job?
do
Be a letter carrier.
Yeah.
Carry mail.
but
to
it's
post
but
office.
like TVs are still around.
No.
There.
No,
Like
we're taking
TVs
away your phone, and we're going to give you a flip phone.
I would love that. Honestly, I would love
No
that.
highlights, no nothing.
I have to admit something to you, like how embarrassingly sad I still am about the Jays World Series. That like 4 times a week, it like washes over me like a plague. Like it still kills me like almost daily. It's sad. It's sad.
You might actually need a grief counselor for that.
I think it has to do with your cold or something.
No,
It's
no,
all,
No,
yes.
No.
Oh, no, it's all.
Listen, I've had lots of
got the
colds in my life.
malaise.
Anyways.
Anyways,
Okay, I want to go back to the standings.
Yep.
Have we seen enough to just think
can we
that
post them? Is that
there's Colorado and then there's the rest of the league?
Yes.
Are we there?
Yeah.
Colorado is farther ahead of second place by some measures, I think in goal differential, than second is ahead of 25th. Did I see that yesterday? They had won 5 straight games by 3 or more goals until their most recent win, which was by 2.
They're 16, 1, and 5. They have not lost a game by more than 1 this year.
And I don't know if you saw the tweet about, don't forget, they had goaltending. They had nothing in net.
Yeah.
And they went out and they got Blackwood and Wedgwood for Gorgiev and a bunch of mid-round picks. And something called Annanen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fixed it.
I think if you're an Oilers fan and you're listening to that, you're like,
They can fix their goalies.
yeah, well, they could try. Like, they tried. They went out and got a couple guys who weren't doing awesome, but they tried.
They just got 2 different guys. They're like, hey, it's time for the different guys.
All we've concluded is these 2 don't work.
Yeah.
Let's try different guys.
And
Maybe they don't work, but we know for sure these ones don't.
And you have 37 points from 22 games and you have a plus 38 goal differential. Seems like it might have worked.
Yeesh.
Speaking of the Edmonton Oilers, lots of talk about changing up their system.
Yeah.
Like, well beyond just try harder.
Yeah, so
I'm curious to see how it looks in the next couple of games.
Jason Greger, who I believe you're going on his show today at some point.
I am.
Said he had a quote from Chris Knobloch, who said, "We've been playing the exact same systems at 5-on-5 as we have the previous 2 years. And we've talked about how things will work out or turn around, but it's got to the point where things haven't turned around 20 games in, and now we're starting to alter some things." So I think it's great to hear a coach talk about their systems and strategy. They've been doing the same thing. Time to change it up.
Pretty good challenge coming up tomorrow night. Dallas. Good time to change your system, or
But I don't think there's
bad
ever
time.
a great time. If you're going to do it, you got to do it. And also,
you can do it against, I don't know.
but realistically, I can't believe they're going to switch to a more aggressive system. It's probably, some sort of safer option, some sort of 1-3-1 or some sort of. Anyway, I'm sure they're backing it off, if anything. So
1 game tomorrow night.
what do we got?
That's it.
Oh, that's the one.
Then 15 Wednesday, and then 0 Thursday, of course, because of American Thanksgiving, and then Friday there's 15
You know
games
who's
again.
quietly made a hard push now is Minnesota Wild.
Mm-hmm.
They get Zuccarello back after starting the season without him. I'm a big Zuccarello fan.
Well, going into this year, they were done with the Suter deal, done with the Parisi deal. We were thinking this is going to be kind of it, and they had a really slow start. But I am team Boldy all the way. Really like Boldy. Obviously, Kaprizov can do damage. I actually, when talking about trade rumors, I forget who it was, but someone had Ryan Hartman in there. It's like, Ryan Hartman, that's a pretty good player to be available for a team that's contending. So
There's a sense that there's a window for a lot of teams around 3 million, 4 million. They're the easiest guys to unload on your cap.
So Joshua, Michelli, Waugh, Domi.
They are movable. The question is, do you want to dump?
Right. Well, I think anytime you're trading from a position of we have a guy to get rid of, you're just getting worse.
So, but this Jesper Wallstedt they have, I was seeing that
How'd they get that pick?
5 straight wins.
Yeah, he's been good, really.
Yeah, he's been good.
We're the second after they gave Gustafsson $30 million over 6 years. 5 years.
Yeah, the Oilers traded the pick.
The Oilers traded the pick for a goalie who's like one of the best goalies in the league right now.
The draft picks traded from Edmonton Oilers to Minnesota Wild for first-round pick in the 2021 draft. Xavier Bourgault, and round 3 pick in the 2021 draft, Luka Munzenberger.
For sure. I remember both those guys.
I was like, could they come up with 2 harder names to say here? Like, I don't know these. Anyway.
So let's go through some of the stuff we talked to Elliotte about. We talked about Svechnikov in Carolina, the Blues, and Barry Trotz in Nashville. In terms of who's available, are any of these teams going to do anything before the deadline? And or is there any?
Yes.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, Nashville?
Yeah.
Oh, please. They got to dump.
I just feel like we've been doing this whole thing.
No, they gotta shed. And
poor Barry Trotz, that's a tough look having to do that.
Stamkos will be ready to leave by then.
Who gets Stamkos?
Well, I think there'd be a number of teams interested, but a lot of factors have to come into play. Here's the biggest one. He needs to play better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, start there.
He's got 5 points in 21 games.
Yeah, no good.
Oh, boy.
So he needs to show that he'd be worthy of a pickup. And the other one is how much does the team potentially trading for him need Nashville to eat?
I got to tell you, if I'm a team talking to Nashville, I prefer Marchessault, both for his contract and his style of play.
Totally. Right. Well, the most one is he's cheaper.
Yeah, he's 5.5. Stamkos.
So
is
you could bring that contract down to $3 million.
O'Reilly's 4 or 5. You mentioned Evangelista, who's $3 million and just 23 years old.
That's the window.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sweet spot.
It's an interesting name. And then Brady Shea, he makes $7 million until 2031, and he's 31.
But Barry Trotz needs some help.
Yeah, he had a tough first summer as a GM.
Yes,
but
He went in there pretty horned up.
Yeah,
They had a lot of big splashy ones. They went from like totally against what they were their entire franchise. It was like kind of like these under the radar, hardworking guys that like just got them into.
Well, I think their franchise leading scorer is
potentially David Legwand.
David Legwand. That's who it is.
And then
how's that for?
And then all of a sudden they're like stars, all the stars, and it was like that pivot didn't work.
But that was the Leafs many years ago with no salary cap, right? That was they used to get the stars.
Yes.
I mean, when they weren't at their peak, maybe necessarily.
I'm just looking at the Nashville Predators all the time.
We'll see what.
It's wrong. It's Roman Josi.
Roman Josi has passed David Legwand.
And second is Philip Forsberg, and third is David Legwand. So until recently, it was David Legwand.
It got to be the only franchise whose leading scorer is a D-man. Got to be. It's a great trivia question. No chance is a second. No chance.
What, Ray Bork?
All
Let me look that up while you guys talk.
All right. Wrap it up.
All right. Make like a Christmas present and wrap it up.
Yep.
Our thanks to Elliotte Friedman from Hockey Night in Canada. 32
Ray
thoughts.
Ray Bork, good one.
1,506 points.
Nice
Not
pull.
bad.
What a pull by Sam.
7 games on tap, including, I think, Prime, Amazon,
Yeah, it's Ottawa Kings.
LA.
Ottawa,
Yeah.
and the Lakers. So if you want to watch
The
the Sens,
Lakers.
or sorry,
Sick.
the Kings.
They're going to play lacrosse.
That'd be a hell of a matchup.
If you're interested in watching the Senators and maybe ordering some Lego, watch Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
Oh,
I don't know.
right over your head, Sam.
Yeah.
Right over your head.
I'm struggling.
Have a great night, everybody.